Mal devant monsieur. Lagué.
Donc, bon, je trop loin. Je suis trop loin. Il y a son? Ok, bon, mal. Alphonse, et où pour laguer? Madame et messieurs, bonsoir. C'est un plaisir pour nous ensemble. Nous sommes M. Guy WEWE, nous live dans Washington, D.C. pour assister à NHAEON 15th Annual Leadership Summit. Son activité qui fait chaque année, mais NHAEON, son association qui existait. L'association ça a gagné tout Haïtien américain qui occupent une force officielle qui sont élected officials aux États-Unis. Donc, dans la salle, il y a un pile citoyens qui viennent pour venir rencontrer moun sa yo et regarder qui ont changé ensemble. NHAEON, c'est National Haitian American Elected Official Network. Donc, c'est ça NHAEON signifie. Donc, son côté nous a dit, ensemble d'Haïtiens conséquents, importants, rencontrés chaque année, on côté aux États-Unis. Année ça, c'est Washington, D.C. Moun qui a présidé l'association ça, c'est Madame Charnette Frédéric, lycée Council Woman dans Everton, dans New Jersey, et c'est lui-même qui a la tête organisation. Et lui là, nous avons un pile moun là, il y a parlé, il y a mengo, il y a fait échange, grand pile, on a dit entrepreneur, personnalité, dans les médias et également dans le secteur musical là, politique qu'il a. Nous a dit c'est on t'y casse l'élite quand même. Et à soir, dans le programme ça, il y a des Zafem qui ont joué, et dans la salle de là, que nous avons peut-être chance pour nous visiter. Donc là, c'est une activité qui a pile gratin de la communauté haïtienne, de la diaspora, surtout aux États-Unis. Oui, aux États-Unis surtout, parce que nous connaissons pile l'autre monde à travers le monde qui a vécu malheureusement, qui était là, mais malheureusement qui pas vivre aux États-Unis et qui fait partie aussi de diaspora. Nous allons regarder qui j'en ai rencontré quelques naïos et permettre qu'on connaître qui j'en c'est ça démarré. Hier, nous avons gagné en réception. Côté on a accueilli tout le monde pour venir dit welcome yo et un menu qui est très bien élaboré et pour activité ça aujourd'hui dans Washington côté que vraiment n'a peut permettre qu'on ait qui gens ça va le passer. On nous regarder et bonsoir. Rapidement nous avons un participant dans NHAEON. Bonsoir docteur, comment est?
Bonsoir, nous va plus magasin nous là.
Alors je dis à là pour participer dans la 15e édition Leadership Summit là de NHAEON où sont assistés à premier meeting qui sont tirés qui capte attention.
Bon, but c'est s'allier côté que nous rencontrer ensemble as a community. Et vous connaissez moi-même, moi dans le domaine de communauté, c'est moi qui suis CEO communauté pour Let's Community Center. Donc c'est une raison de fidélité importante pour nous trouver une barbe ici parce que nous connaissons à tout le monde qui concerne et tout débat qu'on a fait là, c'est ça nous-mêmes nous toujours discuter dans Let's. La différence c'est que nous avec acteurs qu'on y a là. Donc nous rencontrons avec acteurs, les débats ça a fait. Par exemple, il a parlé de l'immigration, il a parlé par exemple hier c'était un bel débat côté que mon Biden administration, secrétaire qui était là même. Donc des questions étaient posées et question ça c'est pour bénéfice immigrants que nous gagnons pas ici. Donc c'est ça que moi content nous là les débats ça a fait pour nous capables non seulement prendre des notes pour nous porter dans la communauté et les dans bail service tout à immigrants nous pour nous connaître dans quelle direction nous capables de trouver nous.
Alors nous connaissons grand pile monde pour nous parler, l'important c'est que fait connaître qui est-ce qui participe, pour qui raison nous participer. Je dis à Oula en tant que qui est
en tant que Let's président CEO Let's Community Center qui est dans Miami Gardens, Florida.
Donc c'est ma première fois participer dans le sommet ça.
Non, c'est la première fois que je participe. Je t'ai invité moi pour représenter ce centre là, pour venir prendre des informations. Donc moi pas ta dire non et moi venu vraiment content, moi venu pour moi ça qu'a fait là aujourd'hui.
Voilà. Nous allons mettre mon plus monde même m'a dit mon nous avons interview en intégral qui parlait de Let's association là. Yo ka checker sur WEWE Radio sur YouTube pour permettre de gagner plus de détails. Merci pour votre participation. Et puis, n'a croisé encore puisque à soya, la miel.
À soya, la miel.
La miel.
La miel.
On fait tout, on fait tout pour virer caméra, pour montrer moun yo, qui j'en ça est. Quand c'est moun qui là, cap Mengo, moun cap rencontrer l'autre. Et vraiment, dans pile moun là, il y a monsieur Jeff Lozama de Chamber of Commerce qui là, il y a un pile. Hey! Non. Monsieur Lozama avec nous là, Jeff, bonsoir.
Bonsoir Guy, qui j'en ai?
Ah ben, son plaisir pour nous là. Aujourd'hui, on va participer à la 15e édition NHAEON Leadership Summit. À quel sentiment là?
Mon cher, toujours son sentiment de fierté pour moi. Et c'est un événement que je ne vais jamais rater. Parce que c'est l'événement ça qui va le définir qui j'en nous grandit comme une communauté, qui j'en nous grandit comme un groupe immigrant. Et c'est l'événement ça qui vraiment prouvé que l'effort que nous faisons comme communauté, l'effort que nous faisons dans la zone côté New York, soit Miami, soit New York, et pour nous établir le leadership New York. Et je dis, on va remarquer, tout leader politique que nous avons là, c'est événement ça.
Est-ce que c'est l'élite politique de la diaspora haïtienne aux États-Unis qui est là?
Définitivement oui. De juges New York, n'a pas des commissionnaires New York élus dans différentes municipalités, et n'a pas des comme nous avons hier et Sheila McCormick, chef Ilus, qui c'est premier et congresswoman dans le Parti démocrate là, qui est actuellement là, qui était là avec nous hier soir sous songer. Donc, on doit parler de l'élite politique et haïtienne dans les États-Unis, oui, c'est là que et dans l'espace là, et là que nous est là.
Et nous avons pile l'autre personnalité importante de la communauté aussi dans d'autres secteurs qui là. Donc quelque part, un mariage qu'a fait là, et ça c'est pour le bien-être de la communauté.
Oui, alors pas bien élu sans pas de communauté professionnelle, sans pas de population qui peut supporter. Donc naturellement, moi je ne mariage ça là fait nous parce que là moi-même c'est une personnalité de business. Donc moi-même dans le business pas, on me dit ça clairement, je crée un budget là-dedans pour m'assurer que le nous avons haïtiens qui ont aspiration pour venir nous élus, pour venir représenter nous,
pour supporter
nos femmes là pour me supporter. Parce que c'est eux qui pourraient définir business point. C'est eux qui vont faire loi pour business pas dans tout. Donc il faut m'assurer que je suis pas qui a bien représenté. Donc ça fait l'important pour le mariage ça fait entre personnalité business surtout, population en général, avec d'autres secteurs parce que vous pas qu'à vivre sans eux-mêmes. Donc il y a toute l'organisation qui est là tout, qui vient supporter et élite et politique ça là.
Voilà, très intéressant Jeff, nous sommes bien contents. Nous avons rappelé ces frères Ed Lozama qui là, ok? Et Ed, nous saluons Ed qui a regardé là.
Nous saluons grand frère Ed Loz, I love you brother. Ok.
Merci Jeff, okay. C'est un plaisir pour nous. Voilà mesdames et messieurs, donc Jean Kawel. Hey, how are you? Hier soir, moi, j'ai introduit ma vers vous et les m'apprendre ensemble d'informations sur vous. J'étais vraiment content. Et je vais le permettre d'introduire tout le public. Mesdames et messieurs, nous avons avec nous un plus jeune haïtien qui a fait causer dans la diaspora. Je vais quitter l'introduction. Bonsoir.
Bonsoir tout le monde, merci beaucoup. Nom c'est Giovanni Picard. Moi sorti Brooklyn, New York, mais famille Haïti tout pire.
Alors, qui côté famille sorti Haïti?
Famille sorti Grandance et puis nous elle Deno Abrico, il côté dans Abrico et puis Port-au-Prince.
À quel titre ou là aujourd'hui dans Leadership Summit ça?
Dans tout titre, nous faisons un pile bagaille dans l'éducation de New York City. Moi, c'est Chief of Staff pour Council Member Rita Joseph qui représente 40 districts dans Brooklyn, New York. Et puis, il fait tout bagaille dans l'éducation, communauté, culture, médias, dans le consulat. Et puis, moi, chef cabinet. Mais avant ça, moi, j'ai fait un pile travail dans City University of New York pour me faire progrès dans l'éducation, spécialement tout le monde qui est dans le collège, pour nous faire bataille pour avoir des ressources, pour tout le monde n'importe côté de sortir, avoir des ressources, pour aller dans l'école, pour faire progrès, gagner un degré, pour faire tout ça que tu as besoin de faire, pour aider la société aux États-Unis et puis notre pays côté de sortir.
Qui est la participation aujourd'hui à porter pour vous, comme jeune professionnel dans la carrière? Là, aujourd'hui, dans le sommet de ça, pour rencontrer un paquet d'Haïtiens d'abord, pareil, mais aussi des professionnels qui sont dans la même communauté avant. Ça porte pour vous?
Il porte un pile fierté, premièrement, vraiment parce que gen pile haïtien dans même côté qui gen même valeur pour nous make sure pays nous progresser mais il est très important comme jeune yo gen modèle qui là parce que gen pile fois ça nous est cap passer en Haïti nous gen pile jeune qui bataille vraiment pile pour faire progrès dans pays yo tout gen l'espoir yo gen fierté pour n'importe côté yo t'a voulu pour faire n'importe ça yo t'a voulu c'est vraiment important pour moi pour me connecter avec jeunes yo spécialement pour nous connecter pour nous travailler pour nous collaborer ensemble pour nous qui jeunes nous a fait pays nous marcher parce que nous cap venir c'est très important nous faire gain solidarité et puis nous travaillons ensemble pour nous make sure Haïti pas périr.
Vraiment très intéressant, mais il y a un bagage qui sorti de où à jeunesse haïtienne, surtout ça qui a entré aux États-Unis aujourd'hui, qui pensait que c'est seulement un bon job qu'ils ont joindre et qu'il y a plus d'opportunités qu'ils ont bénéficier comme jeune haïtienne qui là aux États-Unis, qui a fait bagage, qui n'ont pas de connaissances. Qui sont qu'a dit un jeune haïtien qui est en route, qui est déjà arrivé, qui vient là, ou bien qui fait arriver ici?
Sous nos routes, ou venir ici, ou get arrivé, qui est fierté là. C'est très important pour venir, pour connaître journey où tu prends pour venir là ou grand pile expérience ou ka bail États-Unis société mais c'est très important pour connaître ou gen moun derrière gen pays ou cap compter sur so là venir là et pas seul job là pour chercher pas seul pour faire passer chaque jour ou connaît prendre chaque jour pour prendre comme ça chercher pour jeune moyen chercher pour éducation mettez tête ou involve nos communautés à nos sociétés parce que société a besoin il a besoin d'expérience par là il a besoin contribuer qui ça ou te bail et puis nous besoin connaître soit porter pour pays parce que pays par nous parle ultimately changer Haïti même si on venir Haïti toujours à plat et puis pour nous retourner pour nous rebâtir pays nous encore.
Merci beaucoup, c'est un plaisir de te rencontrer.
Merci.
Allez, voilà, mesdames et messieurs, nous avons un pile personnalité. Bon, moi, un pile monde qui a parlé. Là, nous avons avec nous un elected official qui sorti dans la zone Bois Palm Beach County. Il faut parler avec lui. Donc, rapidement. Je vais déranger la conversation ça rapide. Ouais, voilà. One second. One second. Nous avons avec nous un elected official qui est là et on fait partie de monde qui prend la parole aujourd'hui dans la 15e édition NHAEON Leadership Summit. Je rencontre avant hier soir, nous font parler et histoire ou raconter de où. Et présence ici est très important pour moi, même si nous ne pouvons pas entrer dans les détails des choses. Mais nous avons commencé à faire familiariser avec les Haïtiens tant que et surtout qui présent à soi. Bonsoir, c'est un plaisir de vous sur WEWE Radio. Introduis-toi à public là.
Ok, moi c'est Samson Bourgelin, c'est magistrat, premier magistrat et seul magistrat haïtien qui est dans la ville North Lauderdale de Florida, dans Broward County. Moi, je suis pasteur tout. Et puis moi élu comme commissionnaire depuis 2016, moi réélu encore sans opposition. Et puis dans le deuxième témoin, nous avons mis tant un homme quitté le mal challenge magistrat qui était là, que nous avons devenu magistrat dans la première année.
Première. Alors je dis à vous là dans ce ça veut dire pour vous comme élu, comme haïtien?
Bon. Et ça, c'est un sommet, c'est quoi que NHAEON, c'est National Haitian American Elected Officials, qu'on est tous élus haïtiens, tous partis aux États-Unis, réunis ensemble, pour nous mettre tête ensemble, pour nous capables de définir et identifier les problèmes qui gagnent en Haïti et aux États-Unis, qui sont capables de faire un impact, nous capables d'influencer dans les décisions. Donc c'est ça que les pour nous mettre tête ensemble. C'est une grosse activité qu'on fait chaque année, donc c'est ça un sommet que nous gagnons, que le leadership là. Et pour nous, c'est ça nous réunissons là. Nous avons des businessmen là-dedans, nous avons des élus, nous avons des gens qui sont intéressés dans le développement d'Haïti et puis ici. Okay?
Je veux dire que ça que tu as dans le menu, parce que tu as plus le débat sur Haïti, nous avons parlé de l'implication journalistique dans l'information, nous avons suivi partie ça surtout, et félicitations pour vous introduire là. Qu'est-ce que tu as dans le menu? Qu'est-ce que nous déjà débattu là déjà?
Bon, et nous débattons qui gens, qui rôle, bon, qui est capable de changer la narrative là.
C'est ce qu'on a fait sur Haïti.
Ça qu'a écrit sur Haïti, qui vient le présenter. C'est pas parce que l'homme a une caméra ou bien n'importe quoi ou chita ou les nouvelles. Parce que j'en présente là, il est capable de porter une autre perception sur Haïti qui est capable négative et positive. Donc ça veut dire que World Media, qui gens les affecté et Jean Haïti présenté. Donc c'est ça qui est important. Deuxièmement, il y a aussi nous parler dans notre groupe que côté l'église qui rôle l'église gagné dans le changement qui est supposé faire bon, économiquement, politiquement, culturellement, etc. sur Haïti. Parce que nous vivons non seulement Haïti, mais aux États-Unis, nous avons un grand groupe haïtien ici, ok, communauté. Troisièmement, nous gagnons, si nous faisons groupe qui est là encore, qui gens que qui m'a dit que culture là, ben advoquer, on a fait advocacy pour Haïti. Qui gens que nous gagnons monde, qui gens que politique internationale qui est capable d'affecter. Mais nous-mêmes, c'est nous qui pouvons prendre une marche là-dedans pour permettre que nous soyons capables de développer. Haïti, c'est lui-même qui maman nous. Ça veut dire que même si nous dehors comme Haïtiens, mais nous avons une grosse responsabilité. Si nous ne pas faire, pas l'autre monde qui fait pour nous, très souvent, l'image c'est négatif que lié, surtout sur l'autre étranger.
Bon,
c'est ça que le
bon protocole qui est vraiment à respecter là, même parce que l'histoire raconte de ou surtout pour me recevoir sur plateau WEWE Radio, surtout pour nous inspirer les jeunes Haïtiens, parce que grand pile qui vient là. L'histoire pour la très très intéressant Haïtien, comment c'est marqué visage ça, n'a bien pour nous quand même parler avec sur plateau WEWE Radio pour nous connaître et qui jeune qu'à apprendre de lui. Merci beaucoup.
Et non seulement ça, nous sommes le montrer, c'est que moi-même, moi-même dis ça Haïtien, je ne pas représenter, moi toujours pour me représenter Haïti, mais et je travaille avec jeunes tout, et je dis ça petit garçon moi.
Oui, ça sont l'autre belle histoire.
Monsieur là, la représenté Haïti avec Lionel Messi et Louis Suarez pour jouer. Donc c'est travail ça qu'on fait avec jeunes comme entraîneur, comme pasteur, comme professeur. On travaille avec eux comme si pour nous faire représenter Haïti parce que Haïti pas qu'à finir là où on est rentré ici. Donc dans la communauté donc nous fiers, nous travaillons pour nous faire mais nous grand pile travail pour nous faire. Ça fait nous voulons que réunion ça que nous capable éparpiller aux États-Unis. Donc mais en tout cas c'est moi pour dire nous merci pour notre travail. C'est rôle nous ça va faire jouer un rôle pour permettre nous connaître que Haïtiens nous là nous indépendants mais nous besoin d'être tout le monde ensemble. Que bon Dieu bénisse nous.
Merci beaucoup.
Merci en pile, OK?
Voilà. Mesdames et messieurs, toujours là, nous tenons break. Pour cela fini, mais il y a pile l'autre monde qui eux-mêmes prend la parole pour nous tourner avec eux. Vraiment, il y a pile monde. Nous avons fini. Je dis là, nous allons recevoir plusieurs personnalités. Bonsoir, bienvenue.
Bonsoir, c'est commissionnaire Daniel Agent de la ville de North Miami Beach.
Enchanté, son plaisir pour nous gagner à Soya, ou là, dans ce sommet, ou là, pas dans ce sommet là. Madame Jean, qui soit qu'a dit qu'est-ce qui fuit le poté pour comme monde qui fait partie de la communauté mais qui ont responsabilité officielle.
C'est vraiment une fierté pour les séries de professionnels, pas seulement dans le domaine politique, mais dans tout domaine médical, business, qui vraiment réunis ensemble pour supporter cause là. Parce que comme politiciens, c'est une communauté qui vient envahir ensemble, qui vraiment vient mener succès. Et résultats. Et nous, que Summit, ça a vraiment mené résultats dans la communauté haïtienne. Là.
Bon, côté pas, on a North Miami, qui est communautaire, comme North Miami Beach, c'est une différence. Comment ça y est? Est-ce que vous sentez que vous allez apprendre là pour le partager avec l'autre monde qui est dans la communauté à travailler avec eux? Qui j'en sais?
Moi, que j'ai pile d'informations que je tourné back dans North Miami Beach avec lui. Et premièrement, nous connaissons que nous avons un pile haïtien dans North Miami Beach. Et nous vraiment voulons encourager, parce qu'il y a un pile qui est découragé après l'élection qui s'est passée. Ils viennent sentir pas un but, pas un devis pour voter. Mais nous connaissons que cette année, ça son année d'élection. Et nous avons encouragé tout le monde, tout résident, pour continuer à gagner importance dans voter. Parce que quand nous avons des gens qui parlent créole, qui parlent langue, nous, qui connaissent besoin nous, ils font une différence dans le résultat que nous avons joigné.
Merci Madame Jean, c'est un plaisir et puis nous avons de bonnes chances et à la prochaine.
Merci beaucoup.
Merci. Voilà Mesdames et Messieurs, donc nous avons rentré, nous avons Jean Saé, nous avons rentré puisque en pile monde. Je ne parler avec Princesse. Princesse, hey! Bonsoir. Nous avons Princesse, nous allons parler avec lui. Son jeune haïtienne. Nous n'avons pas là tout le monde. Nous n'avons pas là tout le monde. Oui.
Moi, quand je me parle pour Haïti, je me parle pour Haïti.
Ouais.
Parce que je toujours commenté dans la voix de l'Amérique, mais je me parle pour Haïti.
OK.
Pour nous parler sur la situation politique en Haïti, ça passe dans tout le Kenya, puisque sont experts dans le domaine.
OK.
Donc, moi, je travaille pendant 22 ans comme juge d'instruction en Haïti, comme directeur de l'école de la magistrature, m'écrit une centaine de livres, d'où c'est ça que fait pour pays partager connaissance moins, d'où Samedi là, si vous voulez poser une question sur toute la campagne de la justice en Haïti,
nous
posez question.
Non seulement nous peut-être circonscrit présence sous là dans sommet là, mais on parlait pour vider ça dans ses voix, vraiment son rendez-vous n'a pas spécial. Mais je dis là, est-ce que vous dit nous est-ce que vous faites partie de monde qui a intervenu, qui ça porté pour vous comme
premièrement, dans la première conférence qui était faite, là, des modérateurs dans la conférence ça. Et moi-même, nom c'est Jean-Sénat Fleury, m'habite Boston, moi élu pour une zone qui est les Bouclagne, dans le precinct 15. C'est moi qui est élu dans cette zone. Donc chaque année, moi tout participer dans la conférence là, comme mon elected official.
Chaque année.
Chaque année. Alors,
qui ça porté pour vous comme monde qui est élu, qui permet de rencontrer l'autre élu haïtien pareil? Est-ce qui résultat nous joignent déjà dans ce genre d'activité ça?
Non, je pense que l'organisation qu'on NHAEON sont force que liées, dans la mesure où NHAEON gagne un monde qui est élu dans presque 18 States. Par exemple, nous avons pile de monde qui est élu Miami, nous avons pile de monde qui est élu New York, New Jersey, Massachusetts. Et vous connaissez que politique là, lui jouer en place important. Parce que mon NHAEON, c'est eux même qui est intermédiaire entre population avec officiels, soit qui Washington, n'importe qui côté. N'importe revendication Haïti qui peut passer, s'il passe par NHAEON, il va tomber dans les gens qui officiels. Parce que nous-mêmes en Haïti, nous avons un pire.
Alors, pas seulement dans les gens officiels, c'est dans les gens qui ont décidé. Parce que où c'est officiel tout.
Ok, dans les gens qui ont décidé. Parce que particulièrement, nous avons un pile challenge devant nous là actuellement. Premièrement, nous avons une question d'immigration. En pile, nous avons fait Biden, mon TPS. Donc, moun sa yo, par exemple, si vous prenez Biden, vous dites qu'après 2 ans, c'est chaque 2 ans, il faut nous connaître qui sort moun sa yo après 2 ans fin rivé. Tout ça est très important. Est-ce que moun sa yo y a un TPS? Moun TPS yo, est-ce qu'il y a une résidence? Tout ça, c'est pression que nous-mêmes dans la communauté.
Il y a des bagages de vie qui sont fondamentales. Un nombre de temps, on a ici avec TPS. On a 15 ans, les gens, madame, les gens petites, les gens vie qui sont établis aux États-Unis. Est-ce qu'elle n'est pas éligible pour un programme pour la résident?
Exactement. Mais toute bagaille, ça, c'est loi pour prendre. Qui vous prend là? C'est congrès pour prendre loi. Par exemple, nous-mêmes dans NHAEON, nous n'avons pas qu'à prendre loi puisque côté nous, c'est nous pas dans le niveau fédéral.
Mais nous avons fait force là.
Nous avons fait force là, parler. Nous avons un problème de déportation dans l'État pays d'Haïti. Il y a déporté les gens toujours. Il faut nous avoir des gens qui pour parler, qui pour dire l'administration américaine n'a pas qu'à déporter les gens. J'en ai concernant Haïti. Nous avons un gouvernement en place qui n'a pas rien depuis 2 ans et demi en place. Et l'administration américaine a toujours qu'un gouvernement, ça, qui est Ariel Henry. Il faut nous avoir des gens qui pour parler, arriver dans le congrès pour nous dire non. Le pays d'Haïti pas qu'à fonctionner comme ça.
Il y a vraiment un pile problème qui quand même nous a discuté parce que le pays a des problèmes, un pile monde a rentré ici aux États-Unis, la communauté a besoin d'informations pour qu'on ait qui mieux bénéficier d'un ensemble de programmes qui gagnent. Mais nous-mêmes tout ici, il est important pour nous faire pression sur les États-Unis qui sont amis Haïti entre guillemets pour connaître qui ça nous besoin et qui ça est bon pour le pays. Moi vraiment content et je pense que c'est important pour nous pour rendez-vous spécial. Nous avons rendez-vous spécial.
Parce que le seul bagage que je vais faire, c'est parler pour Haïti. Je ne vais pas faire l'autre bagage encore. Parce que Haïti bam tout ça que j'ai besoin déjà. Je juge Haïti depuis que j'ai 24 ans. Moi, commissaire gouvernement. Moi, je suis d'instruction côté m'instruit les plus grands dossiers en Haïti. Dossier Raboto, Jean-Dominique, Père Gérard Jean-Just, tout dossier, c'est moi qui instruis. Jusqu'à ce que je ai un gros problème avec la justice en Haïti, je m'ai arrêté Jacques qui est en Belleville, qui est un gros problème. D'où moi rentré Boston en 2007. Moi j'ai 17 ans. Moi réussi personnellement, mais m'échoué. Parce que le travail pour me faire pour Haïti, moi pas fait travail là. Je dis à pays ma genou. Et je pense que presse là, un travail important pour le faire. Travail pour le faire. Non seulement pour l'informer, mais un travail éducation pour le faire tout. Parce que ça qui vient de passer, population américaine qui est aux États-Unis sont forces que vous avez. Mais ils ont toujours minimisé nous. Par exemple, soit regarder les derniers census qui fait en 2021, ils ont mis 1 200 000 africaine-américaine, haïtienne-américaine qui vivent ici aux États-Unis. Est-ce que le chiffre là dépassé 5 millions? Il faudra que nous encouragions les faire census pour enregistrer. Ou nous éduquer pour dire enregistrer ça bon pour eux tout.
Vous faites des chiffres officiels, mais il y a plus que ça.
Le chiffre officiel là, c'est 1 200 000. Mais vraiment, le chiffre là, il dépasse 5 millions.
5 millions.
Il dépasse 5 millions. Donc, il y a une élection, il y a la. Moun qui déclare le chiffre officiel, il y a battu plus de 10 millions. Mais les élections, on est qui poids électoral qu'on gagne. Et ça croit que les Trump dans l'élection 2016, là dans l'Ito Haïti, les Biden dans l'élection encore, là la jeune l'Ito Haïti, parce qu'ils connaissent qui poids électorat haïtien gagné dans l'élection qu'a fait aux États-Unis. Voilà. Et nous-mêmes, pour nous protéger, pour profiter de bagages ça, pour nous faire pression, ça nous besoin pour nous.
Voilà. C'est un plaisir pour me rencontrer. Et me passer communication avec nous, à continuer, surtout avec WEWE Radio, dans un nouveau programme que nous gagnons pour des montagnes.
Oui, remerciez nous. Merci beaucoup pour nous, parce que nous avons mis espace.
Merci beaucoup. Voilà, nous gagnons plusieurs autres personnalités. Nous parlons en train dedans. Même de saluer Princess. Rapidement, quickly.
We're going to need to do it after.
Okay. Okay, right, no problem. Voilà. Mesdames et messieurs, nous connaissons dans 100 mètres la 15e édition. Je dis à Oula. Alors, introduis-toi pour nous rapidement.
We cannot do this.
We can not now. Not now. Okay, we're going to do it after?
Yes.
All right.
The senator has to come in.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. N'a pas en train dedans, puisque il y a plusieurs personnes qui ont même déjà en place dans le panel là. On nous suivre en dedans et puis nous tourner après pour nous continuer à faire parler avec plusieurs personnalités élected officials qui en dedans parce que faut que nous communiquions avec eux pour nous permettre plus de monde connaît qui ça a passé. Régie, vous mettez pour l'antenne, nous tourner tout à l'heure.
Haïti, c'est bassin blé, cascade pichon avec sodo.
Okay, everyone, we are getting ready to start. Thank you all for your patience. What happened?
Vale, bonsoir. Alors, encore une fois, mesdames et messieurs, nous avons rappelé tout le monde que nous avons suivi la 15e année sommet sous leadership dans la communauté haïtienne, leadership summit. Donc, c'est NHAEON. NHAEON, c'est une organisation qui gagne tout élu haïtien américain aux États-Unis. Ils rencontrent chaque année pour brasser l'idée sur le problème qui gagne dans la communauté, mais aussi sur le problème qui gagne en Haïti. Donc, qui gens eux-mêmes ont fait pression, ils ont mis force ensemble pour permettre plus de monde conscient, monde qui prend décision sur le problème qui gagne. Non seulement dans la communauté, surtout les migrants qui rentrent nous, il y a plusieurs points qui sont posés à l'heure là. Question monde Biden, question monde qui gagne TPS, monde qui je connais des gens qui rentrent, qui ont des situations, des gens qui font asile, capitaine en pile, qui ça cap décider pour eux. Et il y a des décisions tout qui pour prendre par rapport à action élu Haïti dans le moment là Haïti pas gagné élu, bon bref, pas gagné élu, action qu'a fait en Haïti puisque les États-Unis c'est pays entre guillemets amis Haïti. Donc c'est important ça. Mais quand il y a monde dans communauté qui ont même vini tout pour permettre yo faire contact avec un pile monde qui ont même gain business qui gain cap gérer on sait de gros entreprises parce que monde ça a un pouvoir parce que un monde qui a un business cap générer l'argent Jean Jeff Lozama qui dit tout à l'heure sont monde qui ton partie dans budget pour aider des associations dans la communauté prend décision. Donc les conscients de ça et ça me dit très important et fondamental. Les connaît comme monde qui par exemple un business, les connaît pour qui ton fonds pour permettre des gens gagner dans l'élection ici et moun sa yo pour prendre décision pour permettre la communauté d'avancer. Donc contrairement à peut-être un débat qui a fait en Haïti, ils fait ici tout, ils fait aux États-Unis tout, mais ils pas fait même gens. Ils pas fait même gens dans le sens que ou ka toujours porter support by un monde qui candidat, mais c'est pas parce que le pral bon on retour personnel, mais il ka bail il ka prend décision qui va permettre business à progresser et ça c'est tout le monde qui a bénéficié. Merci mesdames et messieurs, nous avons retourné pour nous suivre speech et cap gain pour fête cap continuer fête dans sommet ça. Nous avons tout à l'heure.
Education, government, nonprofits, community relations, public policy, and community engagement. A former Providence City Council member, she currently serves as the Executive Director of City Year Providence and Senior Vice President of City Year Inc. At the national level. Born in Port-au-Prince, Haiti, Neilva migrated to Providence, Rhode Island at the age of 3, growing up in the South Side and Washington Park neighborhoods. Her commitment to education led her to roles at Temple University, Drexel University, and Brown University, where she earned a master's in urban education policy. She held a pivotal role as the assistant director of curricular resource and also for peer advising, and is the inaugural assistant director of scholars, programs, and diversity initiatives at Brown University. Nerva's journey included her experience as a formerly undocumented person, lead poison survivor, first-generation college student, and overcoming systemic challenges. This fuels her dedication to transforming communities and championing equity and justice. Since her teenage years, she has been actively involved in the struggle for benefiting her communities. From being a city hero to advocating for policy, housing, supporting minority and women-owned businesses, and enhancing community engagement. She co-chaired the Special Committee on Education, introduced legislation to increase social and emotional support resources in schools, and played a key role in the city's COVID-19 Recovery and Resiliency Task Force. She also helped create the City of Providence Behavioral Health Crisis Response Initiative and was instrumental in the push to secure funding for the development of the Doula Services and Training Initiative in Providence to combat racial disparities and social inequities in maternal mortality. Nerva's dedication is evident not only in past roles and her current work in the City Year program, but the passion also extends to the involvement that she has with various organizations. She of Providence. Notably, she is a founding member of We the Village, an organization that supports the Love orphanage in Haiti, demonstrating her commitment to making a positive impact beyond her immediate community. Nerva is a marathoner. Give her a round of applause for being a marathoner. I'm still working on completing my 5K in under an hour. All right. So you give me hope. You give me hope. All right. And she's also was named 21 under 20 in 2021. I'm sorry. She was a 40 under 40 honoree And she's dedicated her time also to the love of art, music, particularly Nina Simone, compa, troubadou, jazz, and of course soul. Her mission is to create equitable systems, develop policies, and address structural barriers impacting education and the community's well-being. Through her work and beyond, she aspires to continue to uplift communities through her service on various boards, making a lasting difference in the lives of those she serves. And it gives me pleasure to introduce the well-accomplished and humble and a beautiful Nerva LaFortune.
Good afternoon, everyone. Comment tout le monde y est? Parce que c'est haïtien, moi, you know, moi fait Haïti, although, you know, Creole lan toujours malouk, but m'pa jamblier Creole. Because it's very important for us to maintain it and to ensure that our young people maintains it as well. So it gives me great honor and privilege to be here with you all today and to be able to introduce someone who has been an exemplary leader in the state of Rhode Island, Senator Whitehouse. So Senator Sheldon Whitehouse represents Rhode Island in the United States Senate, where he has earned a reputation as a fierce advocate for progressive values and a thoughtful legislator capable of reaching across the aisle to achieve bipartisan solutions. The senator has stood as a staunch defender of Social Security and Medicare and has made improving care and reducing costs in our healthcare system a hallmark of his career. Senator Whitehouse has long fought to position America as a leader in clean energy economy and protect the ocean state from the consequences of climate change. To counteract the corrosive effects of special interests in our democracy, the senator has championed efforts to root out dark money from our elections and make Congress and the courts accountable to American people. Senator Whitehouse has also been at the center of bipartisan efforts to rebuild our nation's infrastructure, reform the criminal and juvenile justice systems, protect Americans from toxic chemicals, and address ocean plastic waste. Recognizing the devastating toll of addiction in Rhode Island and across the nation, the senator authored the most significant bipartisan law to address the opioid crisis. Senator Whitehouse served as Rhode Island's U.S. Attorney and State Attorney General before becoming elected to the Senate, where he is the chairman of the Budget Committee and serves as the Finance Committee, the Judiciary Committee, and the Environment and Public Works Committee. I also want to add that, you know, with all these accomplishments, one of the things that I admire most about Senator Whitehouse is his commitment to the community. Interestingly, Senator Whitehouse was the founding board chair of City Year, City Year Rhode Island, Providence, where now I'm the executive director. And one of our core values is service to a cause greater than self. And which is an important value for a leader who is someone who stands with great integrity, who understands the power of humility and also the power of proximity. There are many people that we have that represent the nation who are making decisions for people who don't have access. But what I've always appreciated about the senator is that he strives to obtain the insight of the people and to ensure that he understands what's happening at the center of our communities. So it gives me great honor and privilege to not only introduce and welcome my senator, but also someone who has become a dear friend and also someone I inspire to be like in terms of the way he leads, and also his advocacy. So thank you, Senator Whitehouse.
Thank you all. Please. Thank you, Nerva, for a overly generous but much appreciated introduction. When Nerva was elected to the Providence City Council. She became the first Haitian American to be elected to Rhode Island public office. She is now doing truly wonderful work as the executive director of City Year, which began in Boston and made its first move, our northern suburb, and made its first move from Boston down to Rhode Island. She's now the executive director there, and she mentioned, the founding chairman of the Rhode Island City Year enterprise when it first began its journey. It's now all around the country. So her work is near and dear to me. I'll take a minute and recognize another Rhode Islander who unfortunately is not able to join us this morning, Anise Germain. Anise is a city councilwoman. Anise is a city councilwoman in Cranston, Rhode Island, and the executive director of Hope and Change for Haiti. Hope and Change for Haiti is a nonprofit that advocates for the rights of women and immigrants and invests in community development in Haiti. They have helped more than 100 Haitians in Rhode Island with asylum claims. And on a point of personal privilege, I would also like to recognize my own chief of staff, Mona Lisa Duguay, the only Haitian chief of staff in the United States Senate. Before I stole her, she served as deputy chief counsel for the House Judiciary Committee, where she had an important role in legislation that benefited members of the Haitian community. So let me thank Nerva and Anise and Mona Lisa for their leadership and for their commitment to lifting up the Haitian community in our political world. In Rhode Island, the Haitian community has contributed much to the vibrant fabric of our state, and I've been doing my part to support Haiti's efforts to restore security, rule of law, and democratic institutions, with the goal of securing free and fair elections and economic and social stability. With the then chair of the Senate Appropriations Committee, we visited Haiti after the earthquake to make sure that relief efforts were doing the best that we could. And at home in Rhode Island, my constituent services team is constantly helping Haitians immigrate through the humanitarian parole process. In 2010, Haiti was designated for temporary protected status. In December 2022, the Department of Homeland Security extended and redesignated Haiti for temporary protected status for an additional 18 months through August 2024. So we're closing in. If you know people who need to apply, make sure that they do during that window. And we will work hard to try to make sure that we can extend that window as needed when the deadline falls. I will give credit to my colleague from Rhode Island in the United States Senate, Jack Reed, who is always one of the lead advocates for TPS extensions. We work very well together on those projects. I also co-sponsor Senator Van Hollen's Secure Act. Under that bill, TPS recipients who were qualified under the most recent designation and who have been in the U.S. for at least 3 years would be eligible to apply for legal permanent residency. And a spouse, domestic partner, or child would be eligible to obtain permanent resident status as well. Another key part of the bill requires the Department of Homeland Security to report to Congress when terminating a country's temporary protected status designation with an explanation for the termination. I also co-sponsor the Haiti Criminal Collusion Transparency Act, which would require the Department of State to provide an annual report to Congress on ties between criminal gangs and political and economic elites in Haiti. The bill requires the president to impose visa and property blocking sanctions on those who are behaving badly. Last year, Congress allocated more than $200 million for Haiti. The Biden administration requested over $290 million for Haiti this year, and we're working very hard to get those appropriations bill passed by the March deadline that the continuing resolution imposed. As you know better than I, there is much to be done to promote peace and stability in Haiti. And I look forward to hearing from your organization and from my Rhode Island friends as we continue to advance our collective efforts. If I may switch gears for a moment, I'd like to talk about how Democrats are delivering for the Haitian American community and every American. Our Inflation Reduction Act is working. The IRA made the biggest climate investment in our history, which I championed for years. It will lower energy and healthcare bills and promote American manufacturing. Thanks to the Inflation Reduction Act, families are eligible for major energy savings in the form of tax credits and rebates, up to 30% in tax credits for energy-efficient home improvements, rebates for residential efficiency retrofits, electrification projects, including cooktops and other appliances, as well as electrical upgrades that are needed, and up to 30% in tax credits for rooftop solar, batteries, geothermal heat pumps, including certain installation costs. This is not just about saving money on home improvements. This is about lowering energy bills for the long term and supporting American manufacturing at the same time. The Inflation Reduction Act is also lowering health care costs for our seniors. In 2023, Inflation Reduction Act savings capped seniors' out-of-pocket insulin cost at $35 and made most vaccines available to seniors on Medicare at no cost. For the first time ever, Medicare can negotiate with the pharmaceutical industry to drive down drug prices. This is a big win I have worked on for many years. And the Haitian community, like many others, will benefit greatly from these Inflation Reduction Act savings. There are more savings for seniors that are new this year. We've now capped annual Medicare Part D out-of-pocket costs at $3,100. We're stopping manufacturers from raising prices faster than inflation by requiring rebates to the federal government when they try. And we've expanded Part D premium and copay assistance in the low-income subsidy program for seniors in that program. We made a lot of progress in the Inflation Reduction Act to improve Medicare, and I'm continuing my work to protect Medicare and expand Social Security. It's well known that Medicare and Social Security are the twin pillars of economic fairness in this country and retirement security. They are supremely important. But both Medicare and Social Security are at risk of not being able to pay out all their benefits, and that could happen within the next 15 years. So I have introduced the Medicare and Social Security Fair Share Act to protect both programs by making the ultra-wealthy, who often pay tax rates that hover near zero, pay their fair share. My legislation would extend Medicare solvency for decades and Social Security solvency indefinitely, while leveling the playing field so that teachers, police officers, and firefighters don't end up paying a higher tax rate than billionaires. This will preserve Medicare and Social Security as guardians of fairness in America for decades. It will safeguard your benefits and require taxpayers making over $400,000 to contribute their proper fair share to Social Security, and would require taxpayers above $400,000 in income to contribute more to Medicare by closing an existing tax loophole. All of this work will benefit our economy and our country, will reduce the rampant income inequality and injustice, and I thank all of you for the invitation to me to speak to you today and for all that you do to support a very prominent and beloved Haitian community in Rhode Island. Thank you so much. mic here. Which one do you want out?
Can everyone hear me? So, Senator.
So, Nerva.
I hope you're doing well today.
I'm doing just fine. It's wonderful to see you out of Rhode Island here with a Rhode Island friend in the crowd. It's terrific.
Yeah, it is. Sometimes it's nice to get out of Rhode Island, but, home is home.
Home is home.
So, given the challenges with our immigration policy, where do you see the trajectory of TPS?
The TPS program has to be revived from time to time because the temporary protected status that it grants usually has a deadline. So Haiti's temporary protected status has a deadline in August of 2024. That deadline is coming up now. And we're going to have to work hard to try to get that deadline extended. First, it means that anybody who seeks to qualify under that program should be applying before August. So please, if you or a family member or a friend or a loved one seek temporary protected status, make sure you get that work beginning. Your local member of Congress, your local senator will likely be able to help with that. Community organizations can help with that, but it should be a priority to make sure that that is underway. And it needs to be a priority to make sure that Congress provides the necessary extension. And the way that has to work is we have to find a bill that is moving anyway and attach temporary protected status into that bill. That is the way that Senator Reid and I have been able to accomplish that in the past, and that is the best avenue for proceeding in the future. So making sure that that is on the priority list of Congress for a big bill that moves is going to be very important.
Which is why it's very important to elect the people who is going to represent your voices as well in Congress.
Yes, and let your members of Congress know how important this is and that you would like their support on the extension.
So we all have been seeing the political climate right now throughout the nation, and many of us have been paying attention to the GOP results. Should we be concerned about the upcoming presidential election and also the overall political landscape moving forward?
Should we be concerned about the upcoming presidential election? Yeah, I think we should. I think we are not out of danger of electing a candidate who by November may very well be an adjudicated felon. We are not out of danger of electing a candidate who clearly has a very hostile view toward the immigrant community from wherever, but particularly from countries of color. And we are, I think, in non-trivial danger of electing a candidate who operates by the mechanisms of bullying rather than persuasion, of threats and actual force rather than democracy. And we need to make sure that America does not turn that way, because not only do we have a citizenship purpose in preventing that here within the United States of America, to the extent that America still stands as a beacon of democracy and freedom around the world, we do not want to sully that image or bring down that beacon.
Thank you, Senator. So I did see some hands, but the Senator, because we started slightly later, than what was anticipated. The senator does have another engagement that he has to get to. However, I do have a really quick question, and one thing I want everyone to do is when you have a chance, your registration, there was a section where you can put in questions or send your questions to the conference organizers, and what they can do is send them to the senator's team, and that way they'll be able to kind of send some sort of response to the group to answer some of the questions that you all may have. So before you leave, because you did talk about your favorite restaurant in DC, my question to you as a Haitian woman, have you ever had soup jumeau?
You know, I don't know.
I was about to say,
You may have to fix that.
Mona Lisa.
Mona Lisa has a job right now.
Mona Lisa. So your the next item on your agenda is to find a very good Haitian restaurant. I know in Boston there are some really good ones.
No.
You know,
Don't get me started on that whole Rhode Island, Massachusetts thing.
I mean, Rhode Island has one. I could take you to that one.
There, we'll do that.
But I will say there's some really good spots in Boston, and for their patties as well. So your next item is to have some soup jumeau and find a really good Haitian restaurant. Thank you so much for your
I
time.
have my work ahead of me. Thank you so much.
Si belle montagne ak belle rivière, si belle plage ak pied
that does not belong to you, can you please take it to the registration table out front? Thank you.
Haïti, c'est belle la mer, c'est belle montagne, belle. Pour fléziser qu'à bougeonner. Haïti, c'est bassin blé, cascade, pichon.
Perfect. Are we ready?
C'est mon la sel pic makaya, c'est mam la dat mon bilbo. Haïti.
We got to do this very quick. We're so grateful for our U.S.
Son
Senator.
gicolé qui pour en force, son bouteille cola bien glacé. Haïti, son bon griot, son bon fritaille, un bon
Mesdames et messieurs, bonsoir, rebonsoir. Nous toujours dans Washington DC pour suivre le déroulement 15e année leadership sommet réalisé par NHAEON, ou même qui fait brancher. NHAEON, c'est une organisation qui réunit tout Haïtien américain qui est élu aux États-Unis et existe depuis 15 ans. Nous rencontrons pile personnalité, nous rencontrons pile monde qui fait déplacement pour venir participer dans la 15e année. Ça. Donc, vous parlez sur Haïti, vous parlez sur diaspora, vous parlez sur problème qui est dans la diaspora, vous parlez sur relations autorité aux États-Unis t'as supposé gagner avec Haïti, vous parlez sur décision tout, vous mettre tête ensemble pour forcer l'autorité au prendre non avantage communauté ça c'est ça que fait nous là pile personnalité je ne dis déjà nous connaissons nous connaissons sur internet là toujours parler et qui sont candidats pour poste sénateur de la Floride c'est Wade Joseph et qui c'est un monde qui vient participer dans ce sommet ça lui-même il est là avec nous. Wade, bonsoir, bienvenue, comment est?
Eh bien, nous là, oui, bonsoir, parce que bienvenue dans NHAEON, et puis c'est toujours un plaisir pour m'avoir, oui.
C'est un plaisir pour nous ensemble. NHAEON, son activité qu'on participe à plusieurs, alors, son association qu'on connaît, mais sommet ça, c'est pas la première fois qu'on participe là-dedans.
Non, c'est pas la première fois, mais il pas la dernière fois tout, mais NHAEON, c'est toujours une organisation qui est là, supposée pour représenter l'électeur officiel, c'est ça que fait me support pour lui.
Alors, à ça, on a participé, il y a pile monde qui là, il y a pile élu de la diaspora qui là, et il y a pile personnalité dans l'autre milieu qui là. Comment le déroulement a fait, qui sont suivre, qui sont déjà, qui résume au café pour nous?
Eh bien, résumé qui gagne, c'est il fait de la dérouler, n'a pas avancé, il y a pile question. Qui pas posé, mais n'a pas avancé avec lui parce que nous expecté que nous plus les monde plus accès pour poser plus de questions parce que et pas on seul grain monde petit groupe monde qui seulement capable parler ou bien on équipe qui seulement capable poser questions pour ouvrir forum non pour tout le monde qui a dégagé pour tout le monde qui a posé questions parce que chaque monde a une façon yo ouais ou bien qui formuler une question mais so far so good parce que là va avancer et puis n'a suivre.
Je dis à nous dans Washington DC, est-ce que réalisation activité ça dans Washington DC nous connaît côté politique du pays États-Unis a bouilli les stratégiques qu'il veut dire?
Non, ça veut dire ça est important pour nous faire plus de rencontres comme ça. Mais moi là pour National Prayer Breakfast also. Moi là pour ma faire semaine dans Washington, l'autre rencontre officielle m'a fait, mais là il est toujours beau pour nous rencontrer. M'pas mais là nous juste rencontrer ça nous pas une vision. Si nous rencontrons sans vision, sans mission, c'est comme si nous ne faisons rien. Ça veut dire me souhaiter pour l'année qui vient que les nous rencontrer, nous avons une vision, nous avons un agenda, que nous-mêmes nous parlons. Parce que parler belle politique est bon. Parce que je dis, je ne suis pas trop content parce que nous ne pouvons pas répondre pour le sénateur Whitehouse qui a parlé de TPS. Pour quelle raison nous tombons dans le thème extension pour TPS, les que système non. Système non déjà pas broken, il juste pour renforcer. Ça veut dire nous pas capable de TPS, n'a prend l'argent dans même qui pas gain l'argent et puis nous pas renforcer le système non. Ça veut dire question ça on doit poser au lieu que pour nous parler de faire nous faveur pour nous faire extension.
Alors nous connaissons même aussi un candidat qui est supposé on pour Florida. C'est quand même intéressant. Donc, il y a une possibilité. Non, au candidat déjà, mais il y a une possibilité pour faire partie de NHAEON next. Et tout problème à poser là. Donc, si tu arrives au pouvoir, on arrive au pouvoir et participation quand même à porter un changement quand même, ou bien renforcer bagaille.
Oui, non, définitivement. Parce que moi-même, c'est immigration, me dit ça. Moi-même, c'est produit définition immigration. Moi-même, parce que je passe dans le système, non, je voler là-dedans. Moi-même, ça, c'est priorité pour moi. Parce que là, je ne pas seulement pour NHAEON, c'est pour toute communauté haïtienne, net. Et puis, m'ouvrir espace dans tout. Espace d'inspiration, côté pour l'autre monde qui a entré dans le joie là, parce que nous avons besoin plus haïtiens pour intégrer dans la politique qui ne pas venir ni position ni l'argent, mais qui vient pour changement.
Alors, bon côté, pas comment campagne a marché, puisque n'a pas avancé à grand pas vers l'élection, ou besoin de support un peu l'haïtien tout pour quand même arriver dans ça et permettre ou porter gros différence dans la façon à agir pour militer pour haïtiens dans la diaspora.
Pour ça, c'est pour ça nous devons. Campagne nous a bien marché très bien. Nous pick up en pile volontaire. Nous faisons environ, nous devons, tout opponent, dans 36 opponents, nous devons dans pôle là. Ça veut dire nous que même entendement. Qu'on a communauté, c'est un mapton pour supporter nous.
Qui j'en veux faire ça?
Financièrement, vous allez dans www.whatjosephforussenate.com et www.whatjosephforussenate.com et vous avez cotisation et puis comme ça, vous avez volontaire.
Pour qui ça, on est obligé de supporter nous ça? Parce que nous avons des Haïtiens qui ne pas comprendre l'élection faite aux États-Unis, pour qu'ils soient dit ces donations pour faire et pour permettre de gagner l'élection ça.
Parce que l'élection ici, c'est l'argent qui fait. D'ailleurs, un candidat va mettre l'argent. C'est la population qui supporte ou qui bord donation, qui bord l'argent. Ça veut dire c'est moun qui sort kabay $5, $10, $25, $30 sort kabay pour baili pour nous avancer parce que là c'est notre phase ça nous là qu'on y a là nous gain qualification dans mois avril avant ça que nous besoin aide support financier.
Voilà, merci Joseph t'as retourné en dedans, on connaît une élection pour faire transition pouvoir faite par rapport à monde qui t'a présidé NHAEON donc peut-être c'est dans phase ça là. N'a merci et puis à tout à l'heure, il y a un gars là qui va le faire là, n'a problème mon que a bien affaire qui jouer, apparemment nous a quelques membres dans l'équipe là qui l'a déjà donc à tout à l'heure.
Ben, pas de problème. Merci un peu, c'est toujours un plaisir.
Merci, c'est toujours un plaisir. Mesdames et messieurs, nous allons retourner en dedans puisque grand pile débat a recommencé. Donc, nous allons retourner tout à l'heure pour nous quand même continuer à faire parler avec quelques personnes qui viennent participer dans la 15e année Leadership Summit ça dans Washington DC. Nous allons pas WEWE, nous allons quoi tout à l'heure.
Combit rempli tête bâtiment. And I'm also founding member of this great organization called HDUH, the membership are here, sitting on the table over here. Nikita and Nara. HDUH, give a hand for HDUH. But to sum it up, my foundation is François Macandal. My constitution is the Emperor Jean-Jacques Dessalines. And my spiritual compass is the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Thank you.
And so before we give the honor to our esteemed speaker, I'll also share a little bit about myself, separate from my political public office hat. Creole moins loose, so I'm not going to disrespect you all by trying to say it. But I'm also the president and CEO of a national organization, and I also happen to be one of the only few, or probably the only Haitian American president and CEO of a national community development organization in the entire United States. And yeah, Haitians make history. And it's not about me, it's about all of us, okay? Because they publicize other things, they don't publicize this stuff. But one of the beauties of being in the role that I'm in is I serve as president and CEO of an organization who is dedicated to tackling unjust policies that impact Black and brown communities as it pertains to systemic vacancy and racial economic injustice. On the same side, where I wear my political hat, one of the main things that I always told the good God above that I would always do when I have a platform is to look and make sure that I serve my people. So one of the main things that I was able to do is make sure that all undocumented citizens are able to get vaccines. And right now I am fighting for people who are permanent citizens, green card carrying citizens to have the right to vote. So very, very important to me. And Macandal, I know we're going to start to introduce our great speaker. I'll let you start first and then I'll wrap it up.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, so for those of you who do not know Alex Kav, so I'm just gonna read his bio. Alex Kav is a senior program officer at the WK Kellogg Foundation, working in partnership with the Latin America and the Caribbean team based in Mexico City. He is responsible for identifying and nurturing positive systemic change within communities, executing programming efforts aligned with the strategic programming functions of the overall foundation, implementing a micro-regional strategy in Haiti in collaboration with other LAC, which stands for Latin America and the Caribbean staff, and leading the Haitian team. Kat?
Yes, and I am a notorious paraphraser, so the Honorable Alex, because I'm calling you Honorable for all that we just heard right now, he is also what I call a notorious relationship broker, because he works with policymakers, legislative leaders, the community, consultants, intermediaries, while also not just collecting information, but sharing it out. So Alex, as somebody who is part of the philanthropic recipient side of the world, it is my honor to welcome you. And
you have the floor.
Thank you. No, thank you so very much for this very kind introduction. And I have a very brief presentation that I will go through. But before, I just want to say thank you to the leadership of NHAEON for really giving the Kellogg Foundation the opportunity to share with you this campaign called Pockets of Hope. And I would also say that Pockets of Hope is a team effort. There are several members of the Kellogg Foundation teams that are here with me, and I want to just acknowledge them. Amy Bracken, who's our communication officer. Liz Luthhauser, who's our program manager for Haiti. You know, and I was very kind for Sandra Williams, who's a consultant, data and evaluation consultant with the Kellogg Foundation, to also join us in this presentation and just talking about Pockets of Hope. And also Jeremy Jean-Baptiste, she's like a young woman that I've known ever since she was a kid, and she interned with the Kellogg Foundation. She's now doing a MBA at George Washington. She also came, and of course, I will be remiss not to acknowledge Marie Saint-Fleur. I just want to say hi to Marie. And the reason I want to say that, because Marie is a co-founder of NHAEON. And when Marie co-founded NHAEON, I was a campaign manager. So I had to do a lot of the work with Marie to start NHAEON. So it's really good to be here. And talking about Pockets of Hope, what I want to do is just really talk about what NHAEON can do in terms of the campaign. Then I want to talk about what the Pockets of Hope campaign, what the campaign is, why the Kellogg Foundation is doing it, how we intend to implement, and also what the campaign is. That's also very important. I think for the members of NHAEON, there are two things we think NHAEON could do for this campaign. One is really, can NHAEON commit and join the Kellogg Foundation in committing to this campaign? And there are two things with regard to that commitment that we are asking the members of NHAEON. One is really what many of you have already spoken about. It's really, can we reframe partnership between the U.S. government and Haiti? Can U.S. funding, how can U.S. funding to Haiti be deployed differently? Okay? The second issue that I think NHAEON can play a role, as well with others, it's how can we build a constituency for Haiti? Many of you have already spoken about that, and I want to emphasize the importance of a constituency for Haiti. Those of us who were involved in the anti-apartheid movement, the U.S. government did not take a stand against apartheid until there was a movement in the United States, until there was a constituency against apartheid in the United States. I think, again, this is a role that NHAEON can play. The second request that we have for you is, Claudette has been fantastic working with our policy team, which is partly why we're here. And then how can you organize
as an organization to partner with the Kellogg Foundation to achieve the first ask. Okay? So that's what we'd like to walk away with this afternoon, working with you. If you can go to the next slide. Then I can talk about what the Pockets of Hope.
Levez, petite moi. On connaît fatigué. On connaît brica touche tout monter sommeil. On connaît chérie. Moi tout me paie. Mais sur les laptans nous pour lever. Laptans nous pour lever dans caille là. Sous quartier, sous ville là, sous pays là. Oui, ti chérie là. C'est où sur les laptans? Qui j'en belle, quand qui j'en chargé à courail. Si c'est pas tout, par contre, côté, m't'a besoin de force pour me lever à chercher la vie. Outre la plomb, mais n'a privé quand même. On nous fait premier pas. On connaît pas le pote couler dans réimaginer pays ça. On s'espère qu'on est ingénieur, ou aider nous construire plus bien. Ou qu'on agronome tout. Qui a participé à relancer la production locale pays. Quand tu sautes, ou quand on gros joueur boule tout, ou à lever drapeau pays ou bien ou dans le petit monde. Quand qui ont chargé curiosité et patience, on fait un bon professeur qui a formé plusieurs générations de citoyens qui comprennent le rôle dans la société. Et puis tout, on charge compassion, chérie. On fait un bon docteur. Qui a bien pris soin frère Axel. Chaque fois que je regarde qui a grandi, on connaît Haïti, pas petit bataille ça. Pendant qu'on a flairé, on a aidé Haïti bourgeonner. C'est où que l'espoir? C'est sous moi à Haïti parier.
Come and join us in the Pockets of Hope initiative.
So really, the Pockets of Hope campaign is for her. It's not for the Kellogg Foundation. It is really for that little girl, so that she can have a future. And she could grow up in a community where she could be all of the things that her mother is hoping for her. That her only choice in life is not to leave the country, join a gang, or be vulnerable to violence. So that's what the Pockets of Hope campaign is to give that little girl and many other little girls like her in Haiti a choice, the opportunity to stay in her country and thrive. So the Pockets of Hope campaign is basically a campaign by the Kellogg Foundation and others to invest in locally led, impactful initiatives. Next slide, please. So the Kellogg Foundation, we've been engaged in Haiti for a very long time. The Kellogg Foundation, again, this is again a foundation-wide initiative. The Kellogg Foundation has made a $30 million commitment to the Pockets of Hope campaign. That's our commitment to this campaign over the next 3 years. And with the objectives, if you can go to the next slide, of leveraging an additional $60 million through our partnerships. Several of our partners have already engaged with us in this campaign. Porticus, Digicel, the Dunn Family Foundation, and we are in conversation with many, many others. So we are hoping within the next 3 months, there'll be many others who will be in this list as organizations partnering with us to support this campaign. The main objectives of this campaign, if you go to the next slide. One is to showcase impactful local initiatives in the country. In fact, the term Pockets of Hope is not the Kellogg Foundation. The term came up, I think, back in 2020, in a meeting at the Open Society Foundation, where the Kellogg Foundation were very concerned. We're saying that the fact that the Kellogg Foundation is the largest philanthropic investment in Haiti, it's not enough. As we're having this conversation at the Open Society Foundation, it was Michel Pierre-Louis who said that there are impactful local initiatives happening in Haiti every day. And she calls them Pockets of Hope. So the term itself is not a Kellogg Foundation term. It's a term that came out of our Haiti partners that talks about the importance of this work. We want to showcase those impactful local initiatives that are happening in the country every day. With all of what we're hearing, children still have to go to school every day. Women have to give birth in sanitary conditions, in good facilities, and people and families have to eat every day. So basically, Haitians have to live every single day, despite of what all of us are hearing that's happening in the country. There are still over 11 million people that have to live every day. And a huge percentage of them are young people that have to go to school every day. So it's really showcasing the wonderful work that's happening in the country every day. Strengthen grant-making practices. You saw some of the data earlier today around where funding goes, particularly official development assistance from government, where to go. Here again is to really making sure that funding goes to local organizations that are doing the great work every day on the ground. Changing the narrative about Haiti. Extremely important. Port-au-Prince is not the whole of Haiti. We cannot talk about what's happening in Haiti, only reference to what's happening in Port-au-Prince. So we got to change the narratives around Haiti. And then, of course, increasing philanthropic giving to the country. Next slide, please. There's a couple of things we think are important to do. One of them is the whole idea we've been talking about all day, at least today, around strategic partnership. The importance of strategic partnership and collaboration for funding. Again, engaging, this is particularly directly related to NHAEON, is engaging in the kind of alliance coalition building. It has to be public, private, and by private I include philanthropy, and community partnership. None of us can do this alone, which is why we are speaking to you. I'm talking to you from the Kellogg Foundation and saying partnership is critical here. Then I also want to spend a little bit of time talking about what the Pockets of Hope campaign is not. But that's important too. If you go to the next slide. As a foundation, we do not raise money. Okay? So the Pockets of Hope campaign is not to raise money for the Kellogg Foundation. The Kellogg Foundation has been around for 90 years, and we never have to raise money. Okay? So we're not raising money for the Kellogg Foundation. The way we support our programs are 100% self-funded. It's funded to our endowment. We have an endowment that was given to the foundation by the founder, Will Kidd Kellogg. And when Will Kidd Kellogg created the foundation, he gave us one mandate, only one. He goes, do as you will with the money as long as it benefits children, families, and communities. That's our mandate. Okay? We are 100% self-funded. We do not raise money. And the campaign is not to raise money for the Kellogg Foundation. I want to make that very, very clear. Our commitment that we've made, the $20 million commitment that we've made, that's already in place. We're going to do it. Okay? We're going to do that. The second thing, you can stay on that slide, please. The second thing, it's not We're not creating a pool. In the same way we don't raise money, we don't accept other people's money. We're not going to create a pool that's going to be directed by the Kellogg Foundation. That's not the goal. The goal is to bring others with us to partner. We can help them, like for example, what we're doing with Porticus. They say to us, look, we're doing this because of the Kellogg Foundation. We don't know Haiti. We haven't been involved in Haiti. Our focus is education. Help us understand the education landscape. We will help them understand the education landscape, who we are working with. They have to make their own decision as to who they fund, who they not fund. So they do their own grant making, their own due diligence. We'll advise them if they ask for it. We'll make recommendations if they ask for it, but they're going to manage their own funds. Okay? And again, the Kellogg Foundation, as this campaign, is not associated with the Kellogg Company. Okay? The Kellogg Foundation is not the Kellogg Company. We're not a corporate foundation, even though we sit on the board of the Kellogg Company, and the Kellogg Foundation is the largest shareholder of the Kellogg Company. But we are not a corporate foundation. We are our own entity. Yeah. Next slide, please. Why are we doing this campaign? Right? We always say that Haiti deserves better. And the next slides. One of the things that in several meetings we had with Michelle Pierre-Louis, she always emphasized this issue. Haiti was the first country to declare and affirm that Black Lives Matter and has been paying the cost ever since. Okay? As a foundation where racial equity is so important to us, we have to be in Haiti. Because Haiti is the symbol of racial equity. It's the first place that says Black Lives Matter. And been paying the price ever since. So we understand that as a foundation, which is why we are engaged and committed to the communities, the children, and the families we're working with in Haiti. Yes, we understand also this, again, we could not have taken to do this campaign at a better time. We all know what's happening in Haiti. We all hear and read about the news that's going on in Haiti. But at the same time, we are also saying to ourselves, this is not the time to walk away from Haiti. This is the time to commit, to engage, and continue to accompany the people of Haiti toward their aspiration of a more equitable and free society. Next slide, please. Okay. So we're asking our partners, and we're saying to our partners, it's not the time to walk away from Haiti. So as a foundation, we're not walking away from Haiti. And, I do want to say it's been tough. It's been difficult. Myself and other members of the team used to be in Haiti every month. We did that for over 10 years. Every month we're in Haiti. We're on the ground, meeting with folks, meeting with some of you in this room, engaging with people. We have not been able to go to Haiti since 2019. Okay? And the reason for it is, as an American organization, there are all sorts of liabilities associated with traveling to Haiti when the State Department is saying, don't travel to Haiti. For me to travel to Haiti now, I would have to have board approval. So the board of trustees of the foundation will have to approve me traveling to Haiti because I will not be covered by the organization insurance. Okay. So we understand it's tough. Next slide, please. So some of the things, when we talk about the how and what we're going to do, we have to convene and facilitate. So we're engaging with a number of organizations and, again, trying to bring in other funders together. Like I'm speaking with you now, we're talking to funders. Our CEO is calling other CEOs of foundations and engaging. Again, this is not about the Kellogg Foundation. This is about the work on the ground. We are showcasing amazing work that's happening every day. local organizations that are doing amazing work in Haiti every day. So we are showcasing those organizations. We have to engaging with other funders and explaining to them why the Kellogg Foundation is there and why they should be there too. Again, I'm going to continue to emphasize this issue of partnership. As we all know, complex problems requires complex solutions, and complex solution has to be done in partnership. We don't have the answers to what's happening. We're simply working in solidarity with other organizations that are doing amazing work. So partnership is important. Okay? And finally, you know, we see Pockets of Hope as really an opportunity to be in strategic alliance with organizations, with children, with families on the ground in Haiti. So once again, the Pockets of Hope campaign is the way for us as the Kellogg Foundation of saying this is not the time to walk away from Haiti. This is the time to engage, and this is really the time to accompany communities, families, and children of Haiti to making sure that children have this opportunity to thrive, where the only choices they have is not the long journey or long, you know, if you've been following what's happening now, children, I mean, I was in Tijuana, and the one thing to really see the Haitian migrant, I was there with Haiti Bridge Alliance and others. What was striking to me was the number of children that were there. Children with their families that are taking this long and dangerous journey from South America to the Central America, to the Darien Gap, to Mexico. So when they come in, if you look at the map, they come in the southern part of Mexico. So it's not even over for them yet. Once they get to southern part of Mexico, they have to then engage with others and coyotes and to get to the northern part of Mexico and to the US border. And then there, they don't know what's going to happen to them. Okay? Children in Haiti deserve better. And that's why we're doing this campaign. It's to be in solidarity with the children, with communities and families of Haiti. Thank you very much. I'll be happy to take your questions. Sure. I don't know. I'm just, whatever these guys ask me to do, I'll do.
Can we give Alex another round of applause? Alex, I personally want to thank you because a lot of people don't hear that side from philanthropy. And it really touched me deeply when, I'm trying not to cry, when you talked about the strategic alliance and partnership where we need to have philanthropy in conjunction with policy makers, in conjunction with the people, and in conjunction with the practitioners. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And your heart bleeds, and I sense it and I feel it. I did not know I could do this, but I have heels on, so bear with me.
All right, thank you. Hi, Alex, and thank you for the presentation, and I really could commend Kellogg's Foundation for taking on this challenge with the Pockets of Hope, because we believe that there are a lot of pockets in Haiti where great things are happening. A clarification that I would like to have, because you indicated that the Kellogg's Foundation, they don't do fundraising. And I've been following the Pockets of Hope since last year, and from my understanding, it's supposed to be a $90 million fund, and the Kellogg's put in first a $30 million, and recently there was a $20 million also that was raised with Garcelle Beauvais. So the question that I would like to ask, if you're not going to do fundraising, how are you going to get to the $90 million?
Okay, that's a great question, Fiume. You know, and I know Amy, and I'm glad Amy is here in terms of with the Garcelle Beauvais. Garcelle Beauvais is not doing fundraising for us, okay? I just want to make that part clear. What we're trying to do, let's say in the case of Porticus, I think Porticus is a very good example. Porticus, they're a European foundation. We did some partnership with them in education, and they were like, you know what? They were about to walk away from Haiti. They don't know the place. And we engaged with them and said, look, the work you're doing is impactful. Okay, and there's results. So what we said to them is, if you commit with us, and you don't have to commit with us, we could co-fund it with you, or you could fund by yourself. So the idea is really getting organizations like Porticus and Digicel in the Dunn family to make a commitment. Now, let's say they come to us and goes, you know what? We want to do it, but we don't want to do grant making in Haiti. Is there another organization we could fund? I think they are. It's not going to be the Kellogg Foundation for sure. But if they want to fund an organization that can then do re-granting, I think there are organizations in Haiti that could do that. We would always direct them to an organization on the ground, to another foundation on the ground that can then play that role. You see what I mean? Does that make sense? So it's really there for them to make a commitment. It has to be a real commitment. It cannot just be a pledge.
So each organization can make their own commitment toward that goal, not necessarily to Kellogg.
That's right. The commitment is to the goal.
Thank you.
It's to the goal, not to the Kellogg Foundation.
Hi, my name is Regine Barjan, and I have a question for you. Actually, I want to say thank you for the work that you do into Kellogg's as well, first. And second, it's not a criticism, it's just an observation. And what I've noticed is that you're dealing with a lot of little or micro programs or projects. And I work with farmers, and we do a lot of large-scale production for food transformation companies with the goal of export or national distribution in Haiti. Do you do any, what it seems to me, it sounds like poverty management a bit. And that's the criticism, if you will. And do you do anything that would basically deal with large-scale farming production and those kinds of things?
Absolutely. Let me just say something. That's a very good point, Ms. Barjon. The notion of poverty management is very important to us in terms of understanding that. So the work that we do in agriculture, we don't do, I know sometimes we got criticism for it. We do a lot of alliance building. I think you were saying that. We do a lot of alliance building. In agriculture, we have something called the Haiti Food System Alliance, right? In the Haiti Food System Alliance, I think Liz could please correct me if I don't get the numbers right. There are 14 organizations working together to increase agricultural production. And last time I checked the numbers, they were feeding about over 30,000 kids in Haiti. Okay. Yeah.
I got you.
What did I say?
So you're talking about impact investing.
Okay, I'm trying to remember what I said. So what I concur with everything you said.
Okay, got you.
It's totally valid, and maybe you could connect me with some of these people. My concern is that when if it's charity, quote unquote, then it's not self-sufficient, and there's no return on investment because you've got some Kellogg's or Jesus giving you the money, or whomever. So what I'm saying is that how do we then turn that into a viable business models where the farmers are self-sufficient? Haiti contributes actually to an economic to Haiti economic autonomy. That would be my goal. I would hope, and every Haitian person's goal as well. Yeah. I'm talking about sustainability.
No, absolutely. No, I got it. I got it.
Right.
Let me just say something in general and then be specific to your question. When you look, there's a lot of, let me see there isn't full understanding of what foundations do sometimes. We have three mechanisms, okay? Three mechanisms. The first mechanism that most people are familiar with is our grant making, okay? So that's the first one. That's child. It's grant making. You do the grant, and you hope for the best. And we need that. So that's the first tool. The second one is what we call program-related investment. So program-related investment is an investment. So we try to do that in Haiti, right? So that's the second tool. I have to say I'm not a big favor of it. And the reason I'm not is not because of how it's used, it's because of where the funding is coming from. So it's coming from the grant pool, okay? It's an investment mechanism, but from our grant making. The third, which is the most important one, is the impact investing. It's what we call mission-driven investment. Now, I can speak about the Kellogg Foundation, okay? We have $8 billion in endowment. That's our endowment. It's about $8 billion. And we use our grant making a year is between 300 to 400 million. Okay? That's our grant making. We could use a portion, and we have, of our endowment to do what you're calling, what you're asking for, which is impact investing. We do it in other countries. In fact, we're doing it in Mexico. We have to be able to do that in Haiti. Okay? We got to be able to do that in Haiti. Now, I don't want to get into that because there's some really issues around how do you do that, because the mission-driven investment is a real investment with an expected return. Okay? It's an investment with an expected return. Now, this is a question for NHAEON. The issue would be, let's say some foundation said, look, we can take some of our money and invest for impact investing. This is business. At USAID, they have a tool called, again, Liz, you gotta have, Liz, you gotta come over here. It's the partnership, no, it's the private sector collaborative partnership. Okay? Yeah, it's a private sector engagement. Now, let's say we said, okay, we commit $10 million for investment in Haiti. This is real investment. Is there an opportunity to then, folks are going to say, if we're going to make that investment, given the climate in Haiti, it has to be guaranteed. Who's going to do that? No, we have to give other people a chance too. I hear you, but we can continue. That doesn't mean, I'm not saying it's not possible, but those are the questions investors will ask. Okay? Yes, please.
Hey, Alex.
Yeah, whoever.
Yeah, it's good to see you. So on the long-term view of Pocket of Hope, I'm just here, testimony. My name is Del Joseph. I'm associated with an organization called HDI, the Haiti Development Institute, which is anchored at the Boston Foundation. And we are part of the Pocket of Hope initiative. One of the projects that's being featured as part of Pocket of Hope is that hub that we are building in Arcaye, and that is a $30 million project. And basically, to what Regine was saying, it's an agri-food entrepreneurship center that we are going to be built. And the way that came about is Kellogg over the years have met with the farmers in Arcaye and asked them specifically, what do you want for Arcaye and how should we build that? So HDI was part of a consortium of organizations working in Arcaye that's going to implement that. Ultimately, what that's going to be, it's going to be a hub where we're going to focus on kids, the youth, in terms of leadership and conflict resolution. But there will be that agri-food entrepreneurship center where the farmers will get access to seeds. They'll get access to capital to be able to facilitate their production in terms of yield. They'll have resources to help them with that in terms of supply chain, deepening that as well, so they are not just producing for themselves. So ultimately, what we are looking for is for Arcaye to be a model in Haiti, where not just Arcaye, but other part of the country can come and learn and replicate what's happening in Arcaye in other part of the country. So it's huge. We do not see a lot of foundations working in Haiti and leave that type of legacy behind in terms of brick and mortar. And this is a huge part of Pocket of Hope, and just want to share that with you.
No, Dale, thank you so much, man. In fact, if I saw you back there, I would have asked you to answer that question because they are working on an investment model. And they have a team working on an investment model for that initiative. Thank you so much, Dale. See, those are the Pockets of Hope, right? Those guys are doing it. Again, the Kellogg Foundation, we're just a facilitator.
Well, it's not for profit, but there is a social entrepreneurship component to it where we are going to support people on the ground to be able to do for-profit stuff to support their families and the kids in that community. And to that extent, there will be an education component to it. There's a healthcare component to it because community said they wanted maternal type of healthcare. So Regine, I mean, you have to partner. You have to have that collaboration between the not-for-profit, the for-profit, and also the government as well. So that's what we are doing.
To the point that was raised earlier, just thinking about like foundations and the question around sustainability, one of the things, you know, with foundations is that a lot of times they'll make these investments to check off a box, right? To say that, you know, they're supporting organizations or they're supporting marginalized communities, but there's no real return and there's no kind of contribution to the local economy or an opportunity for the local economy to sustain itself. And going back to the point around building that legacy, which is critical. So one of the things I noticed with like the presentation is, one, it would be interesting to hear a bit more, how do you define impact? But also to kind of talk a bit more about the outcomes, the intended outcomes that you are that you're anticipating, because I think those two things are very critical to ensure that, you know, the organization that you're supporting aligns with what that intended outcome and what that impact is supposed to be. But I really do want to hear more about the sustainability component, because if any one of those investors decide to pull out, so what happens to the program that they're funding? Does it die once they pull out? And you know, it's also functioning at a kind of like a micro level. And, you know, we can't do things in silos because that's the problem with the Haitian economy. There's no kind of coordinated nation, like countrywide economic initiative that will sustain the people. So that was loaded and a bit loquacious, cool. So I hope you can answer.
No, I got it. A couple ways to answer that question. The first one is really the general role of philanthropy. Let me just begin by saying there are certain social activities that are never going to be sustainable. They will never be sustainable. Let me explain. Let me explain what I mean by that. Education. Education will never be sustainable. If you say this to any society, every family will have to pay for their own education. You'll have a lot of uneducated people in the world, right? I'm saying, right? Education. There are certain public goods. Public health. I think U.S. is behind. So there are certain activities that we know. Those are public goods that are really public function of any society. To have a functional, equitable, even though we're far from that, they're not going to be sustainable. Okay? Let me finish, please. We just have to accept, you know, from where I stand, you know, I'm saying education, health, and so on. Those are social activities. They are public good, and they are responsibility of government. That's right. The determinants of outcome. If you don't invest in them, they have other repercussions. Okay? We can disagree, we can argue, right? But those are social. So now I go into the world of philanthropy. It's never been the intent of foundations to be sustained source of funding. Now, that's very critical. That's right. So we agree. So what foundation can do is be a first mover. We can be an innovator. Like, for example, in terms of, you know, we could be a first mover. We could take risk. We can be an innovator. Huh? That's right. We are catalysts for this thing. No, I'm going to come back to that. Okay, I'm going to come back to that. I'm just answering her question. So, yes. So, but you see what I mean? But you got to be able to do that. Okay? You got to be able to say, okay, we are a first mover. Then it's either have to be the private sector or the public sector. That has to take over. You know, when you look at the scheme of things, the biggest segment of any community or of any society is your private sector. That's 78% of any economy. Okay? Public is about 15, 20%, and foundation is like 5%. So let's not feel that this foundation is going to have these issues, okay? The way you have your impact is either in the private sector, engagement, or public sector. Purpose of philanthropy, again, is to innovate, is to be a first mover. How do we measure impact? Okay? How do we define impact? How do you measure it? How do you define it? I don't know. That's why we have Sandra Williams, who's our evaluation consultant here. How do we define impact? You know, I don't know if I can give you a good answer for it in terms of, because it's not, I don't think I could give you one definition. But one of the ways we define impact is the outcome of the fundings that we make, right? As opposed to results or output, okay? Now, in the case of Haiti, like I just came back from Mexico, which is why I was in here yesterday, around the high-level meeting on what the UN is calling the Global Geospatial Information Management, which is around how do they measure the Sustainable Development Goal, right? The 2030 Agenda. And some questions about, again, defining and measuring impact. What we realize is that there are countries, including our own, who have no way of determining what progress they are making because they don't have the capacity of the data collection, okay? So yes, we could say, what is the outcome of our grant making? Which is what Sandra does with a group, QQ Research, is able to say, okay, you know, if we look at the case of Haiti, 60% of Haitian children either dropped out of school or repeat between the second and the third année fondamentale, circle, right? École fondamentale, which is between the third and the sixth grade. Between the 6th and 7th, 60% of Haitian children dropped out of school. Okay? Now, we do a lot of investment in education. So we could say, in our communities, we do this investment, how many children actually stay in the school in that community? The truth is, we don't have the data. All Sandra could tell us, the work that they're doing with the Kellogg Foundation, is how many children in the school, right? We have a network of 200 schools that we are supporting. We have the data for the children in those 200 schools, but we don't really know the impact in the community. And the same thing is true around maternal and child mortality, right? We know what's happening in the hospitals, whether it's in the Central Plateau, whether it's in the South with St. Boniface Hospital. We know what's happening in those hospitals. But we don't know whether or not the investment that we're making is having a huge impact in the communities themselves. Because that children, what we're calling children level data, community level data, is just not available.
Okay, excuse me.
I do have to say that we have to be out of this room in another 6 minutes. Can you all hear me? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Another 6 minutes, so just want to be mindful of the question and the time.
Sure. I mean, I don't mind, you know, I used to be a professor, so I can just stay up here. There.
One more thing. After this, if you're a member, you have to vote. The Roosevelt room is where the voting will take place, okay?
Okay, I'm Dr. Kenny Francois. I'm CEO of Les Community Center, but I'm going to yield to my leader here, Dr. Flora, who's has the desire to ask that question. Then if there's an extra minute, then I'll ask you my question.
Alex, the reason why I would not leave the room without backing you up, you did a good expose, and I see at one point you get trapped. And I think we do that to each other as Haitians. Health and education are not social variables. Yeah, you need to clap. They are not social variables. And the Kellogg Foundation is doing a tremendous work in ROI. To answer to Regine, in Haiti, we had CADAS. And when it comes to education, we had the Department of Education that has the Archive National. Yes, we have data in Haiti, and there are ways to measure what you are doing. Then when it comes to health and the impact, and was the lady asking for impact, okay, then and after that, it will not be recorded that the question was answered. Impact is only an action from an object to an object. M'prend fouchette là, m'voye là, transaction fouchette là pour river pour le frapper, c'est ça qui impacte les gens tomber. Ça veut dire que nous pas qu'à dire que pas gain impact, pas gain for profit. The profit can be either qualitative or quantitative. And ça c'est common sense, and we should not leave the room saying that most of our initiative in the area of philanthropy have no impact. The impact, c'est action liée, action basic, et c'est ça fait que in working in women in the rural sector, for example, excuse me, okay, whether we're using semantic regime, but okay, semantic can hurt us, but we're not here to hurt, we're here to answer questions, okay, and no, okay. I was not referring to you. I said, whoever asked about impact, you did not ask about impact. I try as a professor to answer impact. Yes, there is impact in what is being said today, and whether someone likes it or not, impacts are qualitative or quantitative.
Well, thank you so much, everyone, and I'm happy to continue. I'll be here for the rest of the event, and I'm happy to have one-on-ones with anyone who was interested. So thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you so much, Alex.
Can I get a photo of the two of you? Thank y'all so much. We do actually have to get out of this room fairly quickly. But there is another youth caucus that is happening in Imperial 2. And if you are a NHAEON member, please report to the Roosevelt Room for voting and NHAEON member things.